Hi everybody, welcome to Cruise Shops There, and I'm so excited tonight. I've got a really good friend of mine and a special guest, and we're talking about one thing only, and that is his recent cruise on the MSC Virtuosa. It set sail, gosh, was it last? Ladies and gentlemen, cruising with Pete. I'm so rude. How are you, Pete?
I'm great. Thanks, Melissa, for having me on the show. Yeah, it feels like a dream, to be honest with you, because
I
I haven't
know.
been on a ship like anyone else since November 2019, I think it was, on the
Yeah.
transatlantic on the Encore. And so suddenly, like 17 months later, I'm on the first cruise ship to leave the UK in 14 months. And I'm off of it now. So I'm thinking, did it happen? Did it really happen?
I know you have to pinch yourself, don't you? I saw all your pictures and you want to know everything. It looks amazing. Like, first of all, it really looked amazing. It looked like a really positive experience for you. Was that how you felt?
A lot of us didn't know how it was going to go. And when you spoke to everybody, most people were on the ship, until we actually started to board the ship, none of us believed it. We're thinking
Wow.
something could stop this, you know. I mean, I'll talk about the whole process if you want to, about how
Yes,
the
please.
boarding happened, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were concerned about
Yeah.
the process. There was only 1,000 people allowed on the ship until the 21st of June, when things may change or may not change. So
Right.
the actual process itself, to be honest with you, was a lot easier and a lot smoother than I expected. Just to go through it, you've got to allow maybe 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, which I'm more than happy to allow to get on a ship for the first time for so long, yeah? They give you a time to turn up at the pier. So they don't want you turning up at the pier at different times. They want to control the people. You could be a little bit flexible. I turned up a little bit early. I wanted to get on a ship. I
Right.
walked there, by the way, from my hotel, so I could walk there. And
Oh, wow.
a little bit early, and there's a queue outside already, only a small queue. So I thought, if I get at the back of the queue, then by the time I get to the front, my time will be there. So what happens is that you queue outside the terminal, first of all. This is the city terminal in Southampton.
Right.
The queue, 15, 20 minutes. Everyone's excited. Of course we are. We're going on a cruise for the first time. Once we get in, what they do, the process is this. First of all, they check your tickets. Yeah. They check all your paperwork. Now, you have to have your ticket, passport in the UK, or some identity, I think it might be as well. Really importantly, they check that you have either had if you were not fully vaccinated, then you had to have a test 3 days beforehand and pay for that. But if you were fully vaccinated, you didn't. And I had my second vaccination 2 weeks before, so I didn't have to pay for a test. I was like, yeah. And you have to have proof of that. And your card that the NHS give you is fine. That's no problem. So you have to have proof that you are fully vaccinated within 2 weeks of going on the cruise, or that you had a test 3 days beforehand. And most importantly, Melissa, the one thing which caused a lot of chaos was the insurance. They were insisting that you had COVID insurance, and they kind of passed the buck to all of us. And they give an example. I got yearly insurance. I took out yearly insurance. I'm thinking, I want to cruise this year. Took that out.
Oh, we've got a little bit of internet.
But it's not on the front.
Yeah.
It's like on paragraph 22 or 28. So I had to get a letter. Can you still hear me?
You just cut out there a little bit. Would you just address the insurance again? Sorry.
Showing that I did have COVID insurance. They did ask me for that.
Okay.
Sorry, Melissa?
Would you mind just repeating that? I got the message, but just to make sure our viewers heard that, just so I understood correctly, they have to make sure that they've got actual COVID insurance. And so if someone's already got a health insurance policy, check that there's a COVID policy in there. If not, take it out as extra on the normal health insurance. Is that correct?
And my policy does have it, but it's like in paragraph 22 or 23.
Oh gosh.
So it's really, it wasn't on, and they sent me an email. My insurance company sent me an email and said, yeah, it's there. I just put it on the certificate. Please make it easy. Yeah. So it's a little bit of chaos there. I think some of the people that didn't have it, they were able to purchase it, so they didn't kick them off.
Oh, okay.
So once you've got that passed, it's great. Next thing you do, you drop your luggage, they take your luggage away, and then you queue again and you go through the security, your usual security check that you do like an airport. Again, that took around about 20, 25 minutes to go through security. Easy, no problem at all. Once you've gone through security, that's when they do the test. They test you again for COVID, yeah? The test
and
is really
is that
easy.
everybody, regardless of whether you've had a vaccination? Cool. All right.
Everyone's tested again. It's just purely one nostril. That's all it was. And then you sit, they give you a card, and it's a boarding card and a number for all your people in that card, yeah, in that little group. They then obviously go through the test to make sure they're all okay. And once they're all okay, they then announce you can board.
Wow.
Then it's reality. You're on a ship for the first time in 14 months. This was the maiden voyage, the first one. So that's the process. It's really quite easy, to be honest with you. And I think they could slightly change it. I mean, for me, Melissa, I would prefer to do the COVID test, which is stage 3 of that, in stage 1 or 2. I think they could do that, you know, rather than queue up with people and stuff. But apart from that, you then walk on the ship. There was champagne waiting for us. It's the first time on a cruise ship. We're all excited, and it was wonderful. I mean, the cruising experience, again, we have to wear masks when we're walking around the ship. But when we were in restaurants, when we're sat in bars, we didn't have to wear the masks. That's all fine. And when you're in the theatre, you had to wear a mask. But a lot of people were wondering about the cruising experience. Would wearing a mask really affect it? No.
Well, I think we're all used to it, aren't we?
Yeah.
We have to do it at
honestly,
home.
I had such a wonderful time on the ship. I really did. And the mask factor, you actually forget. I mean, I think I must have walked out of the restaurant 4 or 5 times without my mask, because I've got so relaxed and I feel so chilled and so at ease and so safe. I forgot, and I've walked out my mask, and then someone says, sir, please, your mask. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Back you go. So that happens because you relax. You want to cruise and you relax, And
how you do forget. Oh my God, that sounds like such an escape. I mean, that's what cruising's all about, isn't it? An escape. So if you could, this is going to be a hard question, Pete, and I'm really, really sorry. What was your favorite thing about the ship?
I mean, the favorite thing, do you know when you, like any holiday, on the last day or the last hour or so, you find somewhere that you go, this will be wow. This would be where I would like to plonk myself. There's so many, this ship is so big. It's 6,000 guests it holds, and I didn't find half the places. There's half the pubs and half the restaurants. I haven't been in most places. I haven't even discovered half the ship, to be honest with you.
Gosh.
But on my last day, I did have I went and had a lovely drink with Emma and Dave Monk. And it's in a pub called the Skyline Bar. The Skyline is the adult only, and it's overlooking the pool area. And so rather than being inside, like I was inside in the champagne bar, you know, and also having a drink with Rob, the robot, you know, it actually felt that you're on a cruise ship, because you can just sit there, massive big windows, and you can see the pool area. You can see out to sea or where you're docked. And I discovered that, I think, on my last hour or two on my last day.
Yeah.
And I would have plonked myself there. I really would have, you know.
So how many nights did you cruise for? Sorry.
Not enough.
I ask you a question just as you...
4 nights. 4 nights. And do you know something? It's quite funny because we only went to Portland. That was the only stop we had. And I was not getting off that ship. It's taken me that long to get on a cruise ship. You have to drag me screaming and kicking to get off that ship. I'm sorry, Portland. I was staying on that ship for every single second I could stay on that ship. And that was the only stop. And we sailed away because the great British weather.
It was bad weather that weekend.
We know storms were forecast, and I was so devastated about the weather side of it, because I love Top Deck. But to be fair, we steamed away from where the bad weather was. And I didn't realize, because we went off the coast of France
Oh,
on
wow.
the first day. Now, idiot me, right? I'm so excited, Melissa. My first day, my first evening, and running around like a headless chicken, filming everything on the YouTube Cruising Pete YouTube channel.
I saw a lot of your videos. Great.
Like a nutter. But what happened was I couldn't sleep on my first night. I'm so excited. And the ship was a little bit rocky because we were moving away from the storms. It wasn't too bad, just a little bit gentle rocky. So I decided I'm gonna have the first breakfast in the sit-down restaurants for breakfast. The Blue Danube is where you can have breakfast.
Oh, nice.
And you've only got between 7 and 8:30. Otherwise, you go to the buffet. So you ain't got a lot of time to do it. I think they could extend that. So I decided 7 o'clock, I'm having breakfast, the first breakfast on that ship. Yeah. So I get up. I've had hardly any sleep. I'm down outside the Blue Danube. Yeah, out there, and there's no one. There's no one there. I look at my phone. It says 7:05. I'm like, what's going on? Am I hit the Twilight Zone or something? You know, it felt like the Twilight Zone on the ship, to be honest with you. And then one of the crew members walked past, and I said to him, excuse me, but is this the restaurant where you have the sit-down breakfast? Yes, sir. Oh, great. It opens at 7 o'clock, does it? He goes, yes, sir. I went, then why isn't it open? He said, because it's 6 o'clock, sir. And I went, what? And then I got a tap on my shoulder. Now, Ship Monk.
Oh, yeah.
We all know Ship Monk, the lovely Dave Monk, yeah? Dave Monk taps me on my shoulder. And I turn around, it's Dave. I'm like, hi. He goes, and he heard it. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was going to blog to everybody that if you do go off the coast of France, your iPhone will change time. And your phone says it's 7 o'clock, which is French time, but it's 6 o'clock. And I went, Dave, why are you here then? He says, he had his camera. He goes, I'm photographing the ship. It's the quietest time to photograph the ship. So do you know what I did, Melissa? I said, okay, I'm going to go back to my stateroom. I'm going to lay down for about half an hour, and I'm going to come back for the first breakfast. I fell asleep and missed it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That is so funny. That is so funny. That's a classic schoolboy error, though, Pete. You should know better.
But the problem was I couldn't get my phone off of French time, but the lovely Emma from Emma Cruises, she fixed my phone for me. And so my phone's now fixed because I'm running around. What time is it? I don't know what time it is.
Yeah. See, God, it picks it up automatically. Well, that will confuse anybody. That would, if I'm honest, that would confuse me.
I had one other crazy thing, by the way, Melissa.
Yeah, go on.
I'm a big Brentford football fan, right?
Okay.
Anybody that knows me, and we were playing in the playoffs live on the day 2 of the ship year at 12 o'clock kickoff to get to Wembley. And I didn't think we were going to get to Wembley, but I wanted to watch the game, you know, because I thought, And beforehand, it's got the sports bar. The sports bar is on the ship, and it said, MSC said something like, never miss a sporting event at the sports bar. Yeah. So I had my plan. I'm going to the sports bar and I'm going to watch the game. Yeah. That was my plan. Now, again, I'd only been on a ship about, I don't know what, less than 20 hours or so. So I didn't know where everything was. So I then I planned it. I then asked, and I went to the sports bar. I sat down at the sports bar to watch Brentford live. I knew they'd show the game on TV. The sports bar on the MSC Virtuosa doesn't show sport. It doesn't even have a TV screen. It's in the sports centre. So it's not a proper sports bar.
Oh, that's
in the
a little
sports
bit.
centre.
That's
And so I'm like, there's no TV, there's no game. And so I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm on a cruise ship. I'm not going to search the ship for the game. I'd rather enjoy myself on the ship. Yeah. And the ship is fantastic. It's a huge ship. They've done a really great job, and it really is. I couldn't say enough about it. Oh,
wow, that's fantastic. So I've got a few more questions. So what were the crew like? How happy were they to be there? And what was that like, being with the crew?
The crew were so excited. I mean, I felt for the crew more than anybody else because they haven't been able to go anywhere, and their families and everything for such a long time. And, you know, they were just really happy. I mean, I did a video, I said thank you to 2 crew members, Bon and Bert. were serving me in the restaurant. I just wanted to, I said to them, thank you on the video, you know, because we really
nice.
appreciate
that one.
yeah, we really appreciate what they've gone through. They were just really delighted and happy to finally get back on a ship. And as Bert said to me, he says more importantly to look after his family more than anything else. So yeah, that was, the crew were happy.
Cool. And what's the situation with them? So are all the crew vaccinated? Have MSC gotten them vaccinated?
I think so, is the answer to that.
Right.
Yeah, they announced that all their crew would be vaccinated beforehand. So I didn't really ask the question on that one, to be honest with you, Melissa.
No, it's fine.
But I actually don't really know the full answer on that. I'm just like, I'm in a daze.
You were there.
Do you know something? You're in a kind of a daze because we know what we've been through. I mean, as far as the Oxford English Dictionary is concerned, I would officially qualify as a hermit, you know, for the year that I've had.
Yeah.
If you look at the dictionary, that would be me. So to suddenly go from being a hermit to suddenly going onto a cruise ship and seeing everybody again is just, it's a bit of a daze. It's incredible. And I ended up going drinking with the cruise monkeys, which is a big mistake.
Oh, the cruise. Yes, I bet. Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah, great fun. They're great fun. And I was like, oh, all the cocktails. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant fun. And what was the entertainment like?
Well, the entertainment was continental. So it's song and dance. I mean, I only went to see one show. And again, you had to wear your mask in the theatre. They asked you to wear your mask in the theatre, which is fine. And there were seats that were empty, so we could social distance. They did that really well, so it wasn't completely full. And it was I didn't understand a lot of it. It's in French because it's a continental ship, you know, and so the shows were continental. So it was song and dance. And the shows in MSC are a lot shorter than a lot of the other ones, maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes long. Great fun.
Perfect.
Great fun. I mean, I just really enjoyed sitting down, watching the show. And not only that, Minister, thinking it's great that they are working again. That they can actually have a job again. So I didn't understand it, but they were really talented dancers and really talented singers.
That's good. That's all you need. And so what about the bars around the ship? Was there live bands, live musicians?
Yeah, there's music around the ship as well. There's a comedian, which I didn't go and see around the ship. But you just can't do it all in a few days. It was just, you know, I mean, I did go to the champagne bar and plonk myself there for quite a long time.
You know? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and had a drink with Rob as well, which is great.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the spaceship, whatever Rob is the robot. No, Rob the robot makes, in a Starship Club, he will make you a cocktail and he talks to you and you order the cocktail. It's £18 to have a cocktail, but you get to keep the glass, you know, with Rob on it, and it's an experience. So he'll chat to you, you order the cocktail, he will then make you that cocktail. And on the last day, as I think they had made something like nearly 2,000 cocktails on the last day. Now, when you think about that, Melissa, we all had a drinks package, so we could get those cocktails for nothing. Any drink under 10 for the drinks package I had was included, and every drink I wanted was included. So it really wasn't an issue. You know, people had some quite big barbecues in the end, but you didn't pay for them. But 2,000, he made 2,000 cocktails at £18 a head. People made that decision to have that. So and the kids love watching it. Love watching this robot.
Yeah. And so you said you had the drinks package and you were happy with it. There's a lot of people wonder whether they should get that or not. And then there's all this bad press about drinks packages being overpriced and things like that. What was your experience of the MSC Cruises drinks package?
The drinks package was, I really liked it, because what I really liked about the drinks package with MSC was it included your coffees, your cappuccinos and your lattes in most places as well. So you and I know that I normally go cruising with Norwegian Cruise Line, and again you get a drinks package included in a really good deal, but it doesn't include certain coffees unless you're sitting down having a meal. And so apart from the specialist coffee shop, I think it included all your lattes, all your cappuccinos in most places. And
Yeah.
I found that most drinks that I wanted, most cocktails that I wanted were £10 or under. So I thought the drinks package worked really well, but it was included in the fare. So
Okay.
that's the issue, that's the issue. And another thing I would also think about everybody is the internet package.
Mm-hmm.
Internet packages on ships have really bad names because you buy the internet and then you're like, it's like dial up. It's
Yeah,
chugging
it'll be
away,
fine.
chugging away, chugging away.
Yeah.
I had to get it on MSC. You had two choices: your
Right.
normal web package or your web and streaming. Very simple.
Good
On
idea.
one device. Yeah, one device.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose which one you want, and it's charged per day. And
Mm-hmm.
whichever one you do, if you buy it beforehand, you get a discount off that as well. But you can do it on a ship. I needed the streaming because
Mm-hmm.
I was running around streaming videos to YouTube for the first cruise everywhere. I was videoing it and I was downloading it straight away. It works on this ship. It's everywhere. It didn't matter where I was on the ship. I was able to stream really quickly to YouTube and watch the videos really quickly. So I would say that my experience of the internet on the new ship was fantastic. And so if you don't need streaming unless you're going to be watching live videos or doing live chats and things like that. So the internet package will do. So it worked really well.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, that's really good information. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. What, and do you think it was good value for money?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for one, I do you know something, Melissa? I booked this 2 o'clock in the morning. I made the decision. I lying in bed, head going round, and I went, I want to go on this ship. I want to go on this ship. And when they announced that it's only going to be a maximum of 1,000, I thought it was going to sell out.
Yeah.
So I decided to check on the MSC website direct. I didn't want to wake up any travel agents at that time in the morning and say, "Help, please book me." So I checked and I looked. The price for solos, the Virtuosa only has 17 studio cabins for solo cruisers. I'll talk about the solo side of thing in a minute as well. They only have 17, but they had it wasn't that expensive for a normal cabin, which is fantastic. Right. There was no real solo supplement there. So it was a great price for a solo. So I decided I'm not taking the risk. I bit the hand off and I booked it at 2 o'clock in the morning. and then we all got upgraded from one part of it to another part of the ship. So I ended up in the middle part of the ship, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's amazing. And everyone probably wants to know, how was the food?
Sorry? Say that again, Melissa.
How was the food?
Okay.
How was the food?
Well, I've never sailed with MSC, so I can only compare to Princess and to Norwegian Cruise Line. Right. And I felt the food compared to both cruise lines. I mean, according to other people on the ship, MSC have stepped up big time.
Wow. Okay.
They stepped up big time.
Yeah.
An example, I was in the normal restaurant. I didn't go to any of the other restaurants, and the food there was fantastic all the time. And I went to the buffet once because I wanted to experience how the buffet works. I'll talk about that as well. But the food, I did have surf and turf as one of my meals. Now, what happens, by the way, is they don't have the menus on the tables anymore. There's a barcode that you put your phone to, and you literally put your photo, and it scans it, and you click. And you obviously have had to go on to the MSC website, whatever it is, to do all that. And the menu is online. So you're checking the menu online all the time. And if you don't want to do that or you can't do that, then they'll bring you a paper menu out. But I thought the quality of the food was outstanding. I really did. Right. I'm not so sure if it's in surf and turf. I did see one report saying that MSC were going to do, for the first 4 cruises, it may be a little bit different food-wise. So I'd be really interested to see how the food changes. And one other thing, by the way, Melissa, MSC announced this. They said that on the first cruise, it's the first cruise going in 14 months, there's going to be loads of surprises on that ship. Loads of surprises. Because I actually had a drink with Sue Bryant, who's a cruise editor of the Times.
Yes.
and someone I've met before, and I mentioned it to her. Do you know what the biggest surprise of the whole lot was on the ship for the 4 days we're on?
What?
There were no surprises. I'm thinking there's meant to be surprises, but there's no surprises. When's the surprise going to happen? And it didn't happen. So I don't know what happened to that, because they did a big announcement about that, saying surprises beforehand. So the buffet, by the way, just to let you know how the buffet works, because again, everyone's worried about that. You don't touch anything, and you can't get to the food. It's all covered, yeah? You can't get to it either. So you walk in there, and it's all served to you. They give you, when you walk in, first of all, they check your temperature. Yeah.
Right.
They make you wash your hands.
Right.
Then you walk in, and you will be given a tray with your knife and fork. Yeah. You then walk around with your tray, and you decide, and on the plate, a plate as well. You decide what you want.
Right.
And so they put the food on plates, and they're all on small little plates. They're not big plates, so you can get lots of little bits. And they put it onto the plate, and then this is then they lift. Then what you do is you put your tray up, and they then put the food onto your tray. Now, so you don't touch anything. But I tell you something, I'm balancing like that with this food, and I'm thinking it's gonna fall on someone at some point, because you have to literally do that and then bring it down. So I think a few people are going to be wearing their lunch, but the quality of the food, and again, they were catering for only 1,000 people in the whole ship, and all the restaurants are open. So they still had lots of choices on that one, Melissa. And the food was great, really was.
Fantastic. And so the capacity, I think, is 6,000, right? And there was 1,000 people on board. Did it feel sparse? Did it feel?
Do you know, it's really strange, because I've been on ships with full 5,000 people on board, something like that. And you've always felt there's enough space to do things. There really is. I thought that, I'm going to bump into everybody all the time, and I really didn't. You could really get lost in the ship. There was space everywhere. It obviously didn't feel busy, but it didn't feel empty. There was an atmosphere in all the bars, in all the restaurants that are open. So you really didn't feel that. And a couple of little things that I thought was a bit odd. They got their tropical pool, by the way, Melissa, yeah, which I thought that's going to be really important for the UK staycations, because of the great British weather. So it's covered. And it's beautiful. It looks fantastic, a tropical pool. But the odd thing about a tropical pool, and it got me, because I wanted to go and sit in a jacuzzi, and just chill in the jacuzzi, was they don't have any sort of lidars where you lie down. It's all kind of chairs. It's all chairs around there.
Oh, okay.
And so I sat there with my clothes on, and I'm thinking, okay, and you get served the drink, and people walking past, and I just thought, I don't really feel right stripping off and down to my boxes, down to my trunks to get in a jacuzzi. It's like going to a pub and doing the same thing. I didn't get that.
Okay.
I thought they should.
Yeah. Oh, he's frozen.
Maybe they want people to move on, but it's fantastic. You got an indoor pool.
Yeah. So there's the indoor pool.
And the only bubbles I saw on the ship, by the way, were in the jacuzzi.
Brilliant. The indoor pool is heated.
Yeah. It's all heated, yeah, and the outdoor pool's heated as well.
Oh, fantastic.
But I didn't brave the outdoor pool, because it was just the great British weather. The weather's fantastic now, and so if you're thinking of going on a staycation in the next month, and there's loads of ships, lots of ships are starting to leave now, around the UK. It's fantastic. And the Virtuosa, by the way, Melissa, yeah, she's going to be doing like a big circle. So you've got choices, because she cruises from Southampton, and she goes to Portland, but she also goes to Liverpool, and you can get on and off in Liverpool in certain cruises. Okay. She goes to Greenock, and you can get on and off in Greenock as well in certain cruises, and then to Belfast. So you can actually board the ship and leave the ship under certain situations in Liverpool and in Greenock, which is what MSC do, allowing you to board at different parts. So I think that's fantastic as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because a lot of the other ships, is it that you have to be on one of their tours in order to go ashore?
Yes, You, as I said, you weren't dragging me off that ship. You know,
No,
there's
you
no
were
way
saying.
you're going to drag me off that ship. But some
Yeah.
people did go on a tour in Portland, which is fantastic. And
Yeah.
they were in very strict bubbles. An example, one of my friends, Ed, I think he wanted to give a tip to the tour guide, and she was told, I can't accept it.
Oh,
Can't
yeah,
accept cash, you know.
yes.
You
Well,
know?
that's pretty standard, but also
Yeah.
the passing of paper. But yeah, they're not allowed to take tips anymore.
It's
But
safety. I mean, MSC, it's safety first. They were doing everything for safety reasons first. That was the most important thing. And because of that, you felt that you were as safe as you could possibly be on a ship. They'd done everything they could possibly do. And so you then relaxed and you just forgot. And you then just got into cruise mode. You went back into cruise mode like you were 14, 15 months ago. That's what I did, Melissa.
amazing. Well, you are still glowing and you're still smiling. And when's the next cruise?
Okay, I'm going to watch for a last minute staycation, if everything goes well, around the UK. I'm going to watch for that. And I'm hoping I can jump on something in sort of June, July, August, if I can, last minute, as a solo deal. You know, that's what I want to be able to do and get a decent solo deal. I am booked on the Iona, the
Oh,
P&O
great.
Iona, the brand new P&O, and I'm doing the Canaries in January the 15th.
Oh,
It's a 2-week cruise from Southampton to the Canaries, Portugal, and you're thinking winter sun. And I booked the early bird. I got the early bird deal, so I've got a balcony as a solo because it was a great deal like a year and a half ago. If you're going to book with P&O, book really early because those deals really are deals, and that cruise now is like an extra £1,000 more money.
Oh, wow. You really did get it.
I'm hoping it goes.
Yes, you really did get a good deal. And I echo that because once people are starting to become a lot more confident. These cruises are selling out, like literally 2021, they are selling out. So people better get on it quick. And if anybody out there is looking for maps or coupons, definitely go to cruiseshopsave.com and subscribe. Tell us what cruise you're going on and we will send you your maps. You can even speak to us about what the best tours are to do that are on offer. And when you are allowed to go ashore without being in that bubble, we've got a lot of great things planned that's all local. Everything we do is local. So we want to support the local economies in all these UK destinations, Iceland, Caribbean, the Canary Islands, Portugal, wherever, you know. So please do subscribe and we'll get you hooked up with your free maps and free shopping coupons and free advice about tours and destinations to support the local businesses in all these ports of call.
I've got one thing I haven't spoke about very quickly, Melissa, because I know
Oh,
we're running out of time. It's a solo experience for solo cruisers.
Yes.
Again, you didn't know how it's going to be. Now, MSC for these cruises with the restrictions at the moment didn't organise any solo meetings with anybody.
Oh, okay.
They obviously felt that they didn't want to encourage all the different bubbles from different places. You know, now you could meet anybody you wanted on the ship and have a drink with them. It was not an issue.
But it's off your own.
Yeah, so I would say to anybody, if you're going to go on these ships at the moment with the current restrictions and you are a solo cruiser, I would say make sure you're in a solo group. Make sure you look at these Facebook groups for that particular cruise or a cruise critic group for that particular cruise beforehand to make friends before, because you could be walking around and going, I don't know anybody. And it's not as easy to meet people. There's no solo meeting as such. So you bump into everybody. Now, MSC do solo meetings, but they obviously feel for legal reasons they couldn't have like 15, 20 different bubbles as such all together. So that's a little heads up. Make sure you try to make friends beforehand. That will make your life a little bit easier. But you will make friends on the cruise ship. You'll meet people at lunch, at dinner. You know, you'll meet people by the pool, but that's my only tip for solo cruisers.
But I think that you're a very outgoing person and you'll talk to anyone. I mean, heck, you're talking to me. Although we've known each other for a while now. But I think someone out there who's quite introvert and shy, and they want to go on a cruise and they're booking a cruise for solo. I agree with you, Pete, 100%. What are some groups on social media that people can connect with other solo cruises?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got Cruises for Solos, which is my group as such
Right.
that I've been going for quite a long time. There are other groups out there, but specifically Facebook, you can search. They have people make a group for a specific cruise for
I
that
see.
date on that ship.
Yes.
So it's only people that are going on that particular cruise. And if you search, and hopefully someone's made a group for that, you know,
Right.
then you can join that group and you can then start interacting. And you know, and let people know that you're a solo traveler. Maybe just start making friends, just ask questions, answer questions. You know,
Yeah.
I think Cruise Critic do things for solos as well. So
Right.
and there's plenty of, I mean, Passion for Cruises, I think, do stuff. There's plenty out there, but it's
Yeah.
really important that you do it beforehand as a solo until because when you have a solo meeting at a set time and a set venue, then at least you can get to meet the people from day one, and then it's your call whether you want to socialize and be involved or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make a note of that. I think you're right. I think actually just knowing one or two people before you go on the cruise just gives you that confidence to carry on and meet other people. I really like, that's such a great tip, Pete. Thank you so much for that. But so yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for your time, Pete. You've just brought a ray of sunshine into everyone's lives. We live vicariously through you. And I have to say, you have uploaded a ton of video about the MSC Grandiosa on your YouTube channel. So if you have not watched any of these videos that Pete has done, they're so well done. If you want to see what it's like on board MSC Grandiosa, head over to Pete's channel. What is the name of your YouTube channel, Pete?
Yeah, it's called Cruising Pete.
Cruising Pete.
Cruising Pete's my YouTube channel.
Yeah. I saw a few of them actually. They were fun, and
I even caught Simon Calder, the travel journalist for the Independent and the BBC. He was on the ropes doing the rope course, the Himalayan bridge course, yeah. And I didn't know it was him. And this is a sort of the older person on the ropes, and I thought he was going to fall. And I was like filming him, and I was like, "Well done, sir! You're so brave." And it was Simon Calder.
Oh, brilliant! But I haven't seen that. I need to watch that too.
It's on there, yeah.
So head over to Cruising Pete. Make sure you subscribe, because Pete, you put out a lot of video content each week about cruises, don't you?
Yeah, I try my best, but I need to get back on a ship to put out more content. I did a video recently talking about the cruises that you can go on around the staycations for the UK. There are 4 ships that are cruising in June: the Virtuosa, the Morella Explorer, the P&O Britannia, and the Viking Venus are 4 ships that you can actually book at the moment in June, and there'll be more in July. So I'm trying to keep everybody up to date as to what choices there are for staycations in the UK, and hopefully our American friends, when they can start cruising again as well.
Oh, soon. It's all very exciting. Well, thank you so much for your time, Pete. I really appreciate it. Will you come back and talk to us again?
I'll come back anytime you'll have me.
Anytime. I love talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, Pete. And if you're watching this, don't forget to like and follow us on Cruise Shop Save. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cruise Shop Save. Subscribe to Pete's YouTube channel, Cruising with Pete. And whatever you do, have a great weekend. If you are cruising, please let us know so that we can celebrate with you. Whatever you do, have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.